Hey everybody, Amitabh Metalov here. Just wanted to make a little video for you about something I posted on Facebook earlier. And I posted that I called somebody an asshole today. Um, I had sent a message to somebody with good intentions to help keep somebody safe, and the response was basically, "Who do you think you are?" kind of thing. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Um, and they were just being a jerk. And I called them. I said, you know, stop being an asshole. Basically, give your head a shake. This is what I'm. This is why I sent you this message, to help keep this person safe, um, out of care. And then a little while later, maybe 10 minutes later, I sent them a message back, and I said, "I'm sorry for calling you an asshole. It wasn't a kind thing to do. I apologize." And so I shared this on Facebook, um, because I don't think it was a kind thing to do. I think it was a very unenlightened thing to do. Not enlightened yet. But uh, I see that I did something wrong by doing it, and I needed to make reparations with that person. And I shared it because I wanted to confess what I did, because I don't think it was the right thing to do. The apology, I think, was the right thing to do. But I just sat for an hour, had an hour meditation, and I realized what really happened when I called this person an asshole. I really don't speak like this normally, but I'm using the language that I used, to be honest. And the thing I realized is, and I saw it in the moment, but I still continued to react, is when this person sent me the message back and it was not what I was expecting. It was so far from what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything negative whatsoever, because my intention was to help. I had a huge feeling in my chest that I was not expecting. And I can't even quite describe it, but a strong sensation in my heart. And then I became angry, and then I reacted and sent the message back, calling them an asshole. And I realized when I sat in my meditation that it was because I was unprepared for anything. I was not in my peace at that moment completely. I wasn't deeply rooted in peace at that moment. I wasn't unpeaceful, but I wasn't really grounded in my breath, and I wasn't guarding my senses. And because I was caught off guard, I got startled. I got scared by the feeling. And what I did by calling him an asshole was I took revenge for my feeling that I had inside, which really didn't have much to do with him. I mean, that was the trigger. But the fact is, I was not guarding my sense doors, as the Buddha talks about. He says we should guard the sense doors and just be with feeling, just be with sight, just be with hearing, just be with taste, smell, and with the mind. I was not guarding my sense doors, and so I got startled. And because the startle, the being startled came after this trigger from somebody outside of me, I assumed that the cause was from them. when really it was just the trigger that unleashed some latent anger in me, some latent lack of feeling safe. I didn't feel safe in that moment. So I blame them for me not feeling safe. And I took it out on him and called him an unkind name. So a lot of people might say, well, yeah, that person was being an asshole, and he was. This person was being an asshole. I mean, there's no denying it. But it doesn't matter what the other person's doing. You can't live your life reacting to other people, and I've done it so often in my life in the past. Generally, I'm pretty good. I've gone through a lot in the last 3 or 4 months, and so I'm a little bit on edge. I'm a little bit reactive. And so I realize that what I really need to do is to really step in to the present moment. Because I wasn't in the present moment, my mind was wandering or doing whatever I don't know what I was thinking of, but I clearly wasn't really in touch with feeling. And it's not just about being in touch with feeling, because you can be in touch with feeling and still not be ready for feeling. So the practice is to be in touch with feeling all the time. So we can do that by watching the breath, feeling the sensations in the body, and really allowing whatever arises to be there and being equanimous with it. Allowing it to be all painful feelings, allow them to be there. Whatever arises, all pleasant feelings, allow them to be there and don't get caught up into them. Observe them, be aware of them, and then we'll develop the strength. So I got caught off guard. It was my own fault, So yeah, he deserved an apology, because it was my own lack of skill that allowed that where I allowed myself to get caught up in being unprepared for the present moment. So I just wanted to share this realization with you, and maybe encourage you to learn from my mistake today. Always be in touch with the body. We talk about, you don't understand how I feel, when you're upset. You don't understand how I feel, but we really don't understand how we feel ourselves. And if you've ever done a Vipassana meditation retreat, you will understand that there is so much more feeling going on all the time. And our minds react to the feeling. If you look at dependent origination taught by the Buddha, and the Buddha says to become enlightened is to understand dependent origination, and to understand dependent origination is to become enlightened. This is what we need to see. We need to see how states of mind, feeling, and body come into fruition and are created. So how are mind states created? Where do they come from? Where does anger come from? Where does jealousy come from? Where does happiness come from? Where does joy come from? So that we're not caught off guard, and we see every step of the way. So we see that first there's a source, there's a contact. So this person's text message was a contact for me, and that contact created a feeling in me. It didn't create the feeling, but it triggered it. It doesn't matter. It's cause and effect. So there's going to be some sort of feeling that arises, and because I did not like that feeling, that's a craving. It's aversion. Aversion is really the craving for something not to be there, and craving is wanting something to be there. So wanting more or wanting less of something. And so because I was unprepared, this disliking, this antipathy for what arose in the present moment moved on to the next stage, which is pushing it away. So there was the disliking of what happened in the present moment, that feeling, and then I started pushing it away. And I got angry. Anger arose. And then it transformed from just a bare feeling, from just the sensation, because I wasn't watching it. I wasn't peacefully observing it. Then it turned into anger. And then I expressed that anger. Now luckily I have some awareness. Luckily I practiced mindfulness and I caught it pretty quickly. And I realized what I did. And I realized that it wasn't the wisest thing to do. If I want peace in the world, I shouldn't be spreading anger. I realized that there is some pain within him that caused him to react the way he did. And my message must have triggered something within him, even though my intention was good. So how could I be angry with him? I don't want ill will or contention with anybody. And so I did what was right and I apologized. So I just want to encourage you, if you've said anything unkind to anybody today or any other time, maybe try apologizing. Right or wrong. Maybe too late for some. But if it's not too late, just try. Just realize that this is an impersonal process that's happening. The feeling, the contact, and then the feeling, and then the reaction, and then the trying to push it away if it's a negative feeling or painful feeling, or wanting more of it and clinging after it if it's a positive feeling or a pleasant feeling. That's all impersonal if you really look at it. It has nothing to do with what the contact was. It's just that there was a contact. So also I encourage you to guard the sense doors, because when we do that, there's so much peace. If you just listen to the sound that's occurring right now, and you just notice that it's a sound, and you stay with that sense of the hearing, you won't get caught up in the words. So the things that I say will not disturb you, because you're just staying at the bare sense, at the door. You're staying at the door and you're not letting anything get in. You hear it, but you don't let anything get into your home and vandalize your peace. So I hope this has been insightful, and at the very least I would like to share my regret, and today I hopefully atoned myself by sharing with you, by sharing on Facebook, and by apologizing to this person. And I'll do my best to do better next time. Thank you for listening. I love you.